chance to hear it, so let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You can hear with some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to
Good evening, Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you, from national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
Good evening, one and all. Good evening, Cayman Islands. And yes, to our Sabrina Speaks family tuning in and joining us, definitely slowly but surely, from near and far. It is good to be back with you this evening. Welcome, one and all, to another episode of Sabrina Speaks, right here on CMRTV.com. And we are definitely Voices of the Islands, conversations for the world, and the podcast where voices rise, stories unfold, and inspiration definitely takes center stage. For those of you just joining me for the first time, hello, welcome. We're happy that you're being able to join us here. Maybe you've heard about it, but yes, I am Sabrina. And if you were with me yesterday evening and you liked the information that was shared, well, guess what? We're gonna go into that a little bit again this afternoon. But guess what? We got some guests that'll be joining me around 5:30 or so. Yes, because what we did yesterday is that we took a deep dive into Cayman's economic reality. And for those of you who didn't join me or just playing catch up, we were talking about the 2025 third quarter report and what that means for us here in 2026. Now, that conversation, like I said, will continue after we feature our guests tonight, because understanding our economy also means that we're understanding the pressures that our families face every day. We can almost, pretty much put your finger on it to see what is forecasted to hit us that we've already felt, including the rising cost of food and the importance of strengthening local resilience, personal and from a national perspective. But like I said, before we go back to the broader economic picture later in the show this evening, we're going to be starting and putting a spotlight with on a community initiative that speaks directly, imagine that, to these realities. Because around 5:30, I will be hearing from representatives of Leadership Cayman, and they'll be telling us about their 2026 class project, and that's called the Island Harvest Community Collaboration. And what that is, friends, is that it's an effort focused on food security, supporting local farmers and helping families across our island. Now, please remember that the content you're about to hear, including any discussions or opinions from myself, guests, and our participants, is intended solely for general informational and entertainment purposes. It's not a substitute for professional legal, medical, or financial advice. So I encourage you to consult with a qualified professional for your specific concerns. Now, Bridge Media Limited and all of its affiliates disclaims all liability for any decisions or actions taken in reliance on the information presented. 345-936-8255 is a number to call in, and that's a number as well that you can WhatsApp on. Of course, whatever platform you're streaming us live on, feel free to comment below. We will definitely share you, and we love having you join us in the conversation. Also, we're seeing where some of our social media platforms are changing it up. I've heard a number of you saying, Miss Sabrina, I'm having a hard time finding you. That's why it pays to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Yes, some of these social media handles are actually switching up behind the scenes. That's beyond our control. But if you like and follow our whatever social media you're streaming me on, I mean, I'm on Facebook. You look for me for Sabrina Turner, community activist, and you follow me there. Also on YouTube, you look for at Sabrina Speaks, the number 12, and you'll find all of the episodes there on YouTube. And of course, we're right here on the CMR TV channels as well. But so you don't miss an episode, sometimes it's hard to find me, especially if you're looking for older episodes. You don't have a hard time if you follow, like, and subscribe. So they will just pop up there in your algorithms. So yes, that's what you do. And for all of you who are following us, I see you. Thank you so much for liking and sharing as well. Thank you for the referrals. It really does mean the world to me. And I'm getting your feedback. Thank you so much for that as well. So yes, we got a jam-packed show today. And definitely it all aligns quite well because tomorrow we got lots of in store as well, but more realistic with figures. Before going into that, let's take a look at what's making our weather forecast for this evening and into the tomorrow. Compliments of our friends there over at the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. The synopsis for this evening is calling for light to variable winds are expected as a high pressure gradient weakens and develops low near the tail end of a frontal system over northern Florida. Now, cloud bands drifting off Cuba may bring a few early showers to the sister islands, and localized afternoon showers are possible tomorrow due to light winds and daytime heating. Now, as the high pressure builds along the U.S. coast, the pressure gradient will gradually tighten, leading to increasing winds and rising seas heading into the weekend. The forecast for tonight is calling for partly cloudy, becoming cloudy at times, with a 30% chance of showers. Now, temperatures will fall to the upper 70s. Winds will be variable and light at 5 to 10 knots or less. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. There will be a high tide this evening at 7:04, a low tide at 1:06 a.m. Sun will set this evening at 6:51 and sunrise tomorrow at 5:52. The outlook is calling for continued light and variable winds as the frontal boundary stalls north of Cuba. An elevated moisture lingering near the area will support isolated showers at times, especially during the afternoon. There you have it. That is our weather forecast for this evening so that you can definitely plan your day this evening and definitely into tomorrow. It really helps. I don't know about anybody else, but I really, really do appreciate knowing what type of weather we're going to be having here in the Cayman Islands, because you know what kind of humidity you're going to be dealing with. You know whether or not you're going to have to take the umbrella, but it's that time of the year as well. So you be prepared for anything. That's one thing for sure. Always be prepared. That is the trick to anything in life. Yes, never be caught off guard. There you go. Let's see what's making the news headlines for this evening as you tell your friends and share the link that we're live, because we want to hear what's going on with Leadership Cayman and their class project, letting us know how we can all get a part of this as well. It's turning our attention over this evening on the Sabrina Speaks platform with our local news. The government's first quarter financial report for 2026 has been gazetted, showing a strong start to the year. Now, the core government recorded a CI $321.7 million surplus, while the entire public sector posted a $328.1 million surplus, outperforming projections by 22%. Now, revenues reach $624.9 million, driven by higher than expected regulatory fees and increased stamp duty from rising property activity. Expenses came in below budget and cash balances total $722.6 million. Now, government says the early results are positive, but the surplus is expected to narrow as planned spending increases later in the year. Customs and Border Control has intercepted more than 30 pounds of suspected ganja concealed inside an imported shipment arriving on Grand Cayman. CBC officers flagged the package during routine screening on the 23rd of April, and a physical examination uncovered several hidden parcels of vegetable matter. Now, 3 people have been arrested as investigations continue, and Deputy Director Marlon Bodden says the seizure reflects CBC's ongoing vigilance and strong collaboration with law enforcement partners to disrupt criminal activity and protect our community. Other local news this evening: the new security protocols will take effect at Owen Roberts International Airport starting on the 20th of May, as the Cayman Islands Airport Authorities moves to meet updated international aviation standards. Now, under the changes, vehicles stopping at curbside may undergo visual inspections by CIAA security officers. Travelers are encouraged to allow extra time when heading to the airport or use short-term parking lot, which remains free for the first 5 minutes. The NCFC's Digital Transformation Strategy Task Force has launched a national survey to help shape Cayman's digital future, running from May 5th to 7th. The survey marked the final phase of stakeholders' engagements and invite input from the business community, the public sector, and wider public. Then the results will guide national priorities across digital trusts, responsible use of AI, and long-term economic growth. All responses are anonymous, and residents are encouraged to participate at publicconsultation.gov.ky. We also wrap up this local segment here of the local news this evening. Let me just remove these. Pardon me. Yes, here we go. Whoops. The latest labor force survey shows Cayman job market remains strong heading into 2026. As of December 2025, and the national unemployment rate stood at 2.6%, with 63,289 people employed across the islands. Now, Caymanian employment fell to 4.1%, while employment among Caymanians grew by more than 13%. The total labor force expanded by 6.6%, and the population is now estimated at 90,500. Officials says the results reflect continued economic growth and rising participation in the workforce. We turn our attention this evening to what headlines are making regional news right here on the Sabrina Speaks platform. Focusing our attention on Jamaica, we start there. Jamaica's Education Minister, Dana Dixon, has underscored the need to balance speed with accountability as the country rebuilds from recent national disasters. Speaking during a debate on the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority bill, she noted that the damage across homes, schools, roads, farms, and livelihoods amounted to nearly Jamaican $2 trillion. Minister Dixon said Jamaica must move quickly to recover, but strong oversight and transparency are essential to maintain public trust throughout the reconstruction process. As we turn our sights over to Barbados, a Barbadian scientist has made a major breakthrough in the fight against sarcasm, discovering new microbes that can transform the invasive seaweed into valuable products for the medical industry. Reported by Barbados Today, researchers say that the microbes have the potential to convert sargassum waste into compounds used in pharmaceuticals, turning an environmental challenge into an economic opportunity. Now, the discovery is being hailed as a promising step forward sustainable innovation across our region. And we'll definitely want to hear more about that as that continues to develop, because maybe, who to tell, we could make money from it as well here, sending it over there. Turning our attention to the United States, yes, because U.S. inflation jumped to 3.8% in April, its highest level in nearly 3 years, as the war in Iran pushed global energy prices sharply higher. Now, government's data show gasoline costs have surged more than 28% over the past year, with energy accounting for over 40% of the monthly increase in consumption prices. Economists warn that rising fuel costs are now outpacing wage growth, tightening pressure on households, and complicating expectations for Federal Reserve rate cuts later this year. Hint, hint. 10 people from St. Helena and the Ascension Islands who were aboard the hantavirus-effective MV Hondius were transported to the United Kingdom to complete their self-isolation. Now, health officials says that the move ensures they receive appropriate monitoring following potential exposure linked to the cruise ship outbreak. All individuals remain precautionary cases, not confirmed infections, and will continue isolation under United Kingdom public health guidance as international agencies track developments around the incident. And as we wrap up the news for this evening here on Sabrina Speaks, yes, King Charles marked the 300th anniversary of Guy's Hospital earlier today, paying tribute to doctors, nurses, and healthcare staff who supported patients across the United Kingdom. At the hospital's cancer center, His Majesty spent time with chemotherapy patients and clinical teams, highlighting 6 decades of oncology care now brought together under one modern facility. He also visited King's College Innovation Hub, where researchers demonstrated how AI and robotics are being used to improve treatment and train the next generation of cancer patients. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That includes this segment of Sabrina Speaks that gives you a synopsis of what's happening in our news, not only local, regional, but also international. We thank you for joining us. Welcome, welcome, one and all. How is everyone doing on this fine Tuesday? Looking forward to our next public holiday weekend, which is the 18th. Yes, and it's Discovery Day. And lots are going to be happening, because we know we're celebrating our continuation. We're celebrating continuing our heritage. Lots of things will be happening. Just let me line up my community stuff so I can give you these gentle reminders, because I know someone on the memories bud. For all of you going over to Bracknell, that's happening this weekend. Oh, yeah, I hear you. I hear you all. I'm hearing the plans. Somewhat jealous. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, a little jealous. Not making it this year, but I was definitely there last year. Yep, felt them knees afterwards, but I ain't gonna make it get me down. Oh, no, you don't. Yes, we know that the bulk waste cleanup, guys, it's in Georgetown. Yes, today is day 2. It started yesterday. So in your last pickup date is going to be on the 16th. So we're in the District of Georgetown. DEH are in the District of Georgetown. That goes on till the 16th. And you have all of the dates there. Bodentown, you're next. First pickup day is on the 18th. Last pickup day is on the 23rd. Yeah. And Northside, first pickup day is the 25th of May. Last pickup day is the 30th. Please note that if you put your bulk waste out after these dates in your district, you are responsible for removing them yourself. And failure to move them, you're liable for an offense. Yeah. Cayman Brac, you're not left out. Oh, no. East Side, your first pickup day is on May 25th, and your last day is May 26th. So, and the west side of Cayman Brac, first day is the 27th, and the last day is the 28th. South side of Cayman Brac, you got 1 day to get all of your bulk waste out and collected, and that's May 29th. Little Cayman, same for you. All locations in Little Cayman for bulk waste collection will be on May 28th. So please do a screenshot of this, do something, send it to your neighbors. Yeah, hint, hint, tell them, look, you got a lot of stuff packed up there. We don't need no mosquitoes, no rodents. Bulk waste is coming. Yep. So they can be prepared and not miss a day. And guess what? To all of my little ones, including the big parents who are going to be accompanying them, there's going to be a children's tea party that's happening. A children's tea party that is happening. Yes. And space, please remember this. You have limited space. So you want to make sure if you're going to do this, you're going to RSVP. Yes. And you go to registration link that I shared earlier on, and I'll share it again for the sake of all of you after this show, so that you can go ahead and register. Now, please, children 8+ accompanied by a parent or guardian are invited to join us for this special afternoon of tea experience. So yes, it's a children's tea party that's going to be taking place. Let me remove this. This is why I don't use this, Yeah, because we are seeing where this weekend, that's gone, the 14th, Bracknell Culture Day. And then we got the 16th, we got the Human Library at the Public Library here in Georgetown. And these are all of your week's activities that are happening here, including that children's tea party. Got Bracknell, we got Culturama 2 days, Saturday and Sunday at the Harkwell Theater. And also there's going to be a concert as well. So Monday is the public holiday. So please, please, please don't freak your kids out, waking them up like they have to go to school, pretending that they have to go to school. Trust me, they know these public holidays better than us. How many of your parents guilty of doing that? Waking them up and telling them you got to go to school, and they're looking like you, Mom, what the heck is going on? I would do it just for fun. Happy birthday, everybody who's celebrating a birthday today, or if you're celebrating an anniversary, celebrating life from all of us here at the Sabrina Speaks family. We want to share that with you, and wishing you many, many more and blessings, of course, on your special day. Also, for those of you who are mourning the loss of a loved one, our thoughts and prayers go out to you as you navigate this difficult time. We know it's not easy. And there is no rule either, trust me. So don't rush. Don't stress yourself out. No, not one bit. There is no blueprint for that, my love. So you just take one day at a time. And but I just want you all to know that our thoughts and prayers are with you as you navigate this time. Connie Bonnie is in the house. Yes, yes, yes. Good evening to you, Connie. How are you? And I see where you're sharing the love as usual with your flower of the day. So is Donnie, but I'm going to upload Dawn's images that I'll post in a second. Bad girl, Carol. She show up. You guys are bringing out a side of me that I don't normally expose, Connie Bonnie, as I said, sharing her orchid of the day. Beautiful, Connie. Beautiful, beautiful. And that's her second one that she's showing us for today. Connie is sharing, these are so beautiful. Oh my goodness. You got to tell me how often you water these, though. Yeah, because I just kill mine with love. Look at that one. That's beautiful. So those are Connie's orchids of the day. She's sharing the love with us. That's what Connie has shared with us today. And of course, Dawn is in the house and she shared the love as well. Yeah. They orchids too, no? They orchids. Yeah. Yeah, that's an orchid. They're both orchids. Yeah. So yeah. So Dawn is showing off hers as well. Thank you, ladies, for these. Showing off your green thumb and maintaining for all of you who like that. Yeah. Thank you. That space is definitely growing with all the love being shared here. And I'm hoping that these images really brighten someone's day, because it does make a difference. Like I said, it does make a huge difference when you can see flowers. It just does something to the mood. It does. It really does. Miss Ethel, good evening to you as well. It's so good to have you here with us. Alfred Reel is in the house. Thank you so much for the kind compliment. Says that top looks good on you. Thank you very, very much. Trust me, I got to be creative with my tops, because a year trying to keep it real and just make sure I show up here for y'all looking decent. But thank you for the kind compliments. Much appreciated. Aliano is also in the house. It's so good to have you join us here this evening. Damien, UK Love. UK Love is here. How are you? Good evening, all. And he shares with us words of inspiration, things to really ponder on, some profound stuff. Damien shares with us here every day, and he's loyal, just like Connie and Don with the flowers. Let's see what he's saying. All broken things can be fixed. The hardest part is deciding what they are worth fixing. In the end, we only regret the chances we did not take. You are so right. You are so right. Thank you, Damien, for sharing that with us. Lots of love and big up the crew there at Slay Beauty Bar. Slay's in the house. Yes. North Carolina, love is in the house as well. Marshall, good evening to you as well. You are more than welcome, Connie Bonnie. You are more than, thank you. Thank you for being a budding content creator here and share. Oh, you're loyal. Even when you're en route. You're making sure, boy, you give me that content. Thank you so much for jumping on board with that. In the summer, once per week. That's in regards to the watering. Okay. Once a week. Interesting. Lovely Miss Dawn Connie is saying, see there, she's loving your orchids. Wake up. Yes, the Cayman Islands is back with us this evening. How are you? It's so good to have you with us. Honestly, I like your feedback. I love all of your feedback. I love all of your participation. When I don't see some of you comment, I get worried, oh yes, I have to put out these APB. Some of you, I won't call you out directly because we communicate, privately. So I don't call you out. But if I don't hear from you or see your comment, I could call you out. I could put out the APB. And boy, does it work. It works. Miss Lucille from the United Kingdom is staying up late with us tonight. What is it over there? 10, 11 o'clock? Staying up with us, sending you lots of warm Cayman sunshine and lots of love as usual. Good evening. Blessings on the Cayman Islands and our people. You all stay strong and do not give. I'm hoping, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Don't give what? Don't give what? Don't give no trouble? Oh my goodness. But thank you, Miss Lucille. It's always a pleasure hearing from you. And it's always good to see that you have us locked on. You're definitely huge, like so many of you guys, hundreds, I could say thousands of you at the end of the day to the CMR platform. But we love having you. We love hearing from you as well. Marshall say, yeah, don't show up on here in a I could tell you what. Oy, if you see Sabrina Turner show up in a Speedo or a bikini, Sandra never have the numbers ever to hold the show. Because I tell you what, they're going to want to find out what the heck is going on CMR TV. Because you know how much views that one will get, Marshall. Now, Marshall, what you bring that side of me out for? You know what kind of crowd that would bring. I just went someplace else because I foo-foo too. But no, I would never do that. But it's all good fun. Oh my goodness, I see exactly what you did. You pull that out of me, you brute. But I tell you what, there ain't no numbers in the world. That could be like, you're going to think we were hacked. Oh my goodness, just for fun. But Halloween's coming. Who to tell? I might forget. I might forget one of these days, Marshall. Oh my God, you guys are something else. Connie says, it's my therapy during these menopausal days. Cheetos. Oh my God, no shame to my game. Struggle it. Shame? Oh no, you don't. I used to be. And until this space created that, this live show created that space that we could talk about it, ain't no shame whatsoever. And I'm so happy with the feedback. I'm still finalizing the episode when it comes to the nutritional part to help both male and female going through andropause and menopause. And we will be delivering that in a couple of days just to look on the nutritional side of that that can also help us. But yeah, no shame there. I get fatigued. I get tired. The hot flashes, nah. I must say, I'm thank God for that. But yeah, I doubled up now on my multivitamins as well. And I'm seeing where that has been able to sustain me a little bit more. But ain't no shame there. Oh, no, you don't. Connie's laughing. Oh, my gosh. Hi, hi, hi. Okay, I see you coming in. My guests are coming. I will allow you in a second. There we go. Hold on 1 minute. Just let me add to the back. Yep. There we go. Soon be with you. Just building our stage here. I see you. They can't see you though. Yeah. Andrew Campbell's in the house. Good evening to you. How are you? Blessed Tuesday as well. Connie, oh my God. Will it be Victoria's Secrets? Are you trying to push something here? Are you, Marshall, look at what you brought out. Like, really? Really? Like I said, October 31st coming. And who to tell? Who to tell? Oh my goodness. But the numbers from now, I can see that being built. And what a life that would be. You see, Valentine's already gone. Summer's coming. So, K-Mass is coming. And you know, they're almost like Speedos. Y'all too bad. I not fooling with none of y'all here this evening. Oh my goodness. Well, we done know your head would. Oh yeah, you know me, Marshall. That's the thing. And people are just getting to know me, but you do. OMG, Aliano, I can see you into the foolishness. Do you know? I live action harder, a little action harder than Cayman Bay moving night. I know. We would have to put up all sorts of disclaimers for that episode. Oh my gosh. Good evening, my dear Miss Brenda. It's so good to have you join us. Good evening, Sabrina and all. Marshall throwing out the bait. Yeah, that is what our brute is doing. And you see what he's triggered because he knows, but it's all fun. You know what I'm saying? He knows exactly what he's doing, even though I'm spinning it to the Sabrina Speaks style of things, just to play along. But oh my God, ain't no numbers in the world, Miss Brenda, would be able to keep up with that one just because I know my people. You think I don't know my people? Oh, yes, I do. It is 5:33 and we know we got guests holding in the background. Connie is saying, murder, remember the COVID with all the naked people on Zoom. Oh, dear Jesus, hear you. Oh, my goodness. Alfred, you into the foolishness too. Well, keep the comments coming in. Who to tell? Who to tell? Who to tell? Keep the comments coming in because we definitely got our guests holding in the back of the studio as we hear all that's going on with the leadership class. Okay, Leadership Cayman class of 2026, and they're here to tell us about a launch that they're doing, a major initiative that is called the Island Harvest Community Collaboration. And what it's all about, and I won't take the wind out of their sail, but so that you'll know exactly, setting the tone, setting the stage. They're going to be telling us all about a growing community, supporting locals, farmers, businesses, and making sure Cayman's future generations have better access to healthy food. And tonight I am pleased to welcome here in studio with us, we have two guests. Yes, we have Kim, and let's just bring them into our virtual studios. But keep those comments coming in so that we can just continue and pick up where we left off. Let's bring our guests in studio. Good evening. Hi.
Hello,
Hi.
hello.
Hi. You're hearing well. We're hearing you. Good. Everything is good. So I'm pleased to have you all with us. And for those of you, we have Miss Kim and we have Luigi Moxham from Cabana, and they're going to tell us all about this initiative. And this is, as I said, the Leadership Cayman class of 2026, and telling us all about this Island Harvest Community collaboration. And just get into it. We want to know more.
Well, thank you so much for having us. Very excited to be on your show for the first time. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Great opportunity to spread the word through your amazing platform. So we're excited about it. Kim and I are blessed to be a part of the Leadership Cayman class of 2026.
Best class ever.
Best class
Woohoo!
ever. Uh, Everybody's supposed to say that, but everybody don't know that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's an amazing experience so far. We're about 4 of the 6 months into it, and it's been an incredible, eye-opening experience. Thank you to the chamber and to all of our classmates. Just as a beautiful cohort of a mix of people from all over the community, and really getting to learn about the kind of behind the scenes of how Cayman operates. So it's really been an amazing challenge. And Kim and I were selected to be part of the class project. So
Nice.
everybody,
I can see why with Luigi. With Kim, I'll get to know you, but it's no surprise to me. I'm based on what we're going to get into. But go ahead.
Yeah, so the everyone's teams have been seminars, multiple seminars with different concepts, conversations, and we were challenged with the putting together the class project. And I just have to say that this was initially inspired by our first get together when we went to Kim and Brack. And I let Kim get into it because it's really her idea, and we're really excited about being able to make this a reality this weekend. So, Kim, how does it even start in the first place?
So how it started is that when we took our visit to Cayman Brack, as Luigi mentioned before, with Leadership Cayman, we explored the different socioeconomic backgrounds of the Cayman Islands, and going to the sister islands and touring what the islands were about, what their challenges were, what they were having issues with, and food security was a number one topic. The access to food, being able to use different food produce, how they use local farming, what are their best practices, what's going on. And then I look at the challenge that the entire island is facing and what was coming down with our entire food production, our food security, the sustainability, the environment, and see how everything was going on. And I said, why not do something for the community, but it more plays a part in how what we do today shapes how we should be in the next 10 years. We should be doing backyard farming. The cost of living and the entire economic threshold is skyrocketing every day. So we can grow our fresh produce. How can we help local farmers? Even then, Cayman is also one of the culinary capitals of the world right now. So how even our restaurants and the different hospitality sectors, how they should be doing their best practices with having access to food. And we just thought, and I said it to Luigi, and as soon as we talked about it in Cayman Brack, we're like, we're going to do this. Nothing else. We're going to do this. And then the plan just blossomed from there. And then we thought that it was an excellent initiative. To put this island-wide harvest challenge to get the entire community involved. We already know that persons already have their own backyard farming, or they'll visit the local farmers market, or they have their local farmers that they support. And then we also saw the need as well with the different charities that exist on the island, the NCVO, the Meals on Wheels. And we thought about doing an island-wide harvest challenge to say, hey, if you're going to the supermarket, if you're going to the farmer's market, if you have a little extra in your own little backyard farm, even if it's just a pound or 2 pounds of some kind of produce, drop it off in these drop boxes that we'll have on location. And also for books as well, because we want to educate the youth from early. So whatever books you have, from whatever age range, it's from kids to adults, speaking about farming or just literacy overall. We're also going to be doing the drop box for food and for books that you have that you're probably not using them anymore and they're pre-loved. Drop them into the community drop boxes at the farmers market, Cayman Cabana, Thatch and Barrel, and even at the Cayman community farms. And these books will directly support life, which is literacy is for everyone. Which is also a literacy program that's here in the Cayman Islands. So get educated on farming practices and agriculture, and also help to assist with literacy. So we just thought everything would work hand in hand.
Okay. Wow. How has it been going so far? I mean, this is a huge class project, but this is definitely, you're collaborating with life, as you say, even though you're looking at our sustainability, educational side where food is concerned. Look at what you're doing with giving back to those needy persons. Like you rightfully said, I got caught into that on Saturday, where I was just delivered a whole box of tomatoes and scallions. And
Mm-hmm.
my cousin and I, we just bagged it off. And on Saturday from after 10 until minutes to 2, we hit the pavement in Prospect and we were
Nice.
just out distributing. Now, mind you, I told them I'm setting my up because you all could make them think I run it again. But they're like, no, you're just distributing food. So when you guys reached out to me to promote this, I'm like, this is aligning with exactly what I did on Saturday.
Amazing.
Exactly.
The
Amazing.
universe has provided this to remove the political statement that may have been attached to it on Saturday.
Exactly.
Well, that's even more amazing because it's the irony of that is more and more conversations we've had with people and people we've wanted to reach out to get their support or see how we can help what they're doing. The conversation is consistent, it is constant. It just emphasizes how important it is. It may be off the table, out of sight, out of mind, but in reality, that's just the reality of it may not affect you directly, but there are lots of people in all 3 islands that really need, whether they're elderly, they may not, it's not about not having, being able to physically go and get it, but elderly people who just may not have access to getting
means either
food. The canned food, the donations, the hurricane supply, absolutely. But when we're talking about elderly, we're talking about youth. Let's take it a step further and let's deliver some real food where people can get the benefit of the nutrition and the health from it, and also indirectly support our cultural ambassadors around the community around all 3 islands.
Right.
When we went to Cayman Brac, I think it was in February, so it was like the barge couldn't go there for like a couple of days, and you go there and the fruit in the supermarkets is scarce. Just you can see the difference in when a week and a half goes by without the barge going there. Can't imagine little Cayman. And then we did this amazing tour of some of the farms over there. But it's really just we can't take this for granted, the fact that we have incredible infrastructure with our supermarkets, our markets. It's come a long way in the last 10 to 15 years, but the reality is there are too many people who don't have access to real good healthy food. We want to be fed, but we want to make it a difference. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And it just kind of ties into what Cayman, what the Leadership Cayman, everybody in the class has been passionate about this subject and really encouraged about choosing this initiative to just advocate for not just supporting the farmers, but educating people on what is actually possible to be grown here in your backyard, and the difference in how to maintain that and be diverse with it. We're surprised we may not be able to grow every year the same consistency, but let's challenge yourself to explore what is possible, and that all adds up into having the supermarkets have more access to real food, local food. This farmers market be more consistent. The restaurants can depend on it more consistently, and as I said, this really ties down to amazing initiatives like the Mr. Fabian Connor, the policeman.
Dancing police. That's who set me up in a nice way.
Exactly. So and matter of fact, this is exactly what inspired us to partner with him. With this initiative. So we're working directly with his farm, his community, Cayman Community Farm in Newlands.
Excellent.
Saturday, we're going to be going there from early in the morning, and we're doing the whole
harvesting and stuff.
Planting, preparing distribution boxes. We love, and it really was a thing when he said he does this in Cayman Brac as well. Like perfect.
Yes. How much 100 pounds he takes over there, and I was like, and he says, Miss T, it's all for free, and that is the truth. He expects nothing back, but his blessings and what impact he is making with this community farm is why his farm is actually producing in abundance.
Yes. And it's really coming along well. So it's perfect partnership with us to have our team and also to encourage people in the community to support what he's doing, not just this Saturday, ongoing, because this is something that he's been doing, continues to do, and we want to support him doing it moving forward. So the kind of challenge is actually, I had in mind like that same kind of energy when people get up on a Saturday morning, you go do a beach cleanup, everyone's out and about, and doing their part. That's kind of like the energy we're looking for.
We want everyone to just come in and just get down and dirty and say, hey, we're gonna clean some dirt.
Yeah, Like that's the energy. Go out in your backyard, go to the farmers market.
Juve at a different level.
Yeah, go there and take pictures with it and have fun with it. Take your kids to the market, make them appreciate that whole process of giving and the benefits of that. So the energy is really inspired by a challenge to our community in the districts, to not in a competitive way, but just in a personal way for to put that kind of energy into so many other things that we get up and go do. Let's do that and let's see what we can contribute together, and feed the community. And then at the same time, it literally, pun intended, helps the community grow, the farmers grow, and educates people along the way. I've been fortunate to go to John Gray High School. They have an amazing agricultural program there in Georgia, and the whole team over there. They have about 11 grow boxes. They got bok choy, tomatoes, scallion,
the whole works.
callaloo. I got a whole bunch of stuff. I was so surprised and so inspired by them. I told the kids that you have no idea how fortunate you are to be able to have this at your school. And this was a group of kids, amazing kids from their Leo club, that they do this on their lunchtime. They're going to eat their lunch and they go out into these boxes. It's not a class. They go and they plant and they've harvested. They've done a fantastic job. I think True for Youth as well.
Yes.
Many schools. So this is a part of that initiative as well. It's not just to, say we did a good deed and check a box. But we really want this to be
continued, something that's continued,
to get the kids excited about it as well.
We thought it was a perfect program as well to get the kids involved from early. Like food
of course,
security is everybody's problem. We wanted to be able to, by the time you go out and you look at a tree, you can decipher a mango tree from a plum tree, or no pak choy different from scallion. What's the difference between green onion and an onion? And it's just getting them involved and getting them so excited about where their food actually comes from. We know everyone is excited. Like we know we have the foodies that's all about in all about here. So we just want them to know where the food actually comes from, what it is that's homegrown in Cayman. And that's why we saw the initiative, and by the time we were planning and we started to research about different persons that we could get along, so we reached out to John Gray and Truth for Youth. We understood that the books as well that would be teaching kids how to help them with literacy, life. We thought about the different food banks who could benefit from the reaping boxes and the plants that we'd be planting, such as the NCVO,
the Meals on Wheels.
Meals on Wheels. They have their food banks where they distribute to the underprivileged community. And we thought this was an excellent initiative to help them with their food bank initiative, so that food goes to those that actually need it.
Now, for those of us, because we get people joining us at different stages of the game of this live podcast, let's talk about the big day, because the big day is May the 16th, and that is from 9 to 1 p.m. Let's zoom in on that a little bit so people can all just put it together.
Okay. So this Saturday, May the 16th, we are going to be at the Cayman Community Farm in Newlands, planting everything working on the farm and putting together the boxes to be distributed throughout the community on behalf of Cayman's Community Farm. At the same time, we are hoping that simultaneously around the islands, people are going to go in from their backyard, go to the farmers market, go to the supermarket, wherever they can source at least 1 pound of food. Keep your mangoes. We don't want your mangoes. We want to be upset, right? But we don't want nobody mangoes. People keep your mangoes. Did not come yet. But challenge ourselves to go out and contribute. It's just all about contributing. So people are actually going to go to the farm, and ideally at the farmers market, we're going to have a designated drop box. At Thatcher and Barrel, we're going to be having a drop box. At Cayman Community Farm in Newlands, we're going to have a drop box. And at Cayman Cabana, we'll have a drop box. And again, by all means, if people want to directly come and drop it off, or if they want to call us, we can arrange for people to come and get it. They don't have to do the same day. It's really about the effort. And at the end of the day, we want to challenge everybody to, like, what can we do 1 pound at a time, contribute to providing food that the Cayman Community Farm is going to package up and distribute, like how you've got a lovely box that we can take to Cayman Brac all through the island. Any extra stuff that we're going to prepare and give to Meals on Wheels, to NCVO as well, the books for life. So it's really about not asking a lot, just sometime in your travels on a Saturday morning, pop by and drop off some food to those locations, and then we're
Right.
going to get in partnership with Cayman Community Farm to make sure that's distributed to the people who really
Distributed
need it.
accordingly. Right. So
And honestly,
we
I just wanted to just add this in. This would not have been possible without our lovely sponsors.
Mhm.
that's what I was getting into, because this could not be possible without
It would
sponsors, and
not
this
be
is an
possible.
opportunity
So
for you to
as
showcase them.
Luigi stated, the Leadership Cayman program is put on by the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
So we have to say big respect to the Chamber of Commerce, and also to our major sponsors at Wheaton, A.L. Thompson's, more in the Cayman Islands, RBC Bank, and also to Jake Scott as well.
Right.
Mhm. Yes,
So we're
this
gonna-
is a
we're-
community effort. Now
It is
you're
a community effort.
opportunity for
There's other people
members
behind the
of
scenes.
society. Yeah.
There's other people behind the scenes that have been contributing. I want to give a big shout out to our classmates, class of 2006, our chair Mel and Kim, everybody who's been really supporting us this entire way and really inspiring us to not just do a class project that is, say, we could go do a beach cleanup, we could go paint somebody's house, we could have gone just to the farm to help out at the farm.
Yeah.
Collectively, we were like, no, if we're going to do something, we're going to do it. It's just literally in the sense of being sustainable, that's going to make a positive difference ongoing.
Right. Now, I noticed you said holy mangoes. What then would be for someone who's interested in really just, okay, fine. Tell me what types of vegetables then would be most helpful for the donation.
Whatever's at the farmer's market, that's the fun thing about it. There's tomatoes right now. I just came from there earlier today. The tomatoes, the green bananas, the pak choy, the plantain, the coconut meat, the plantain, anything that's at the market. They have things for, I think, $2 to $4 a pound right there. So it's not much, to ask for someone to contribute, a pound of anything. So there's breadfruit. It could be literally anything. It could be tamarinds. It could be whatever. There's nothing that is that won't be welcomed for us to be able to take and challenge ourselves to put these boxes together where people will actually be able to use them and benefit from them. And then we're also going to we're probably going to organize them a bit so where people can take certain things that they can cook with, certain things that people can eat, and certain things that people can plant in their backyard as well. So it's really about that as well, right?
Yeah. Right. Let's zoom out just for a little bit, because I know you guys are, and congratulations for this idea. And I'm quite sure that you would be well appreciated for the efforts that you're going to do and the collaboration, of course, with the community farm, with Life and all of the other stakeholders. You're definitely directing people to the farmer's market to go and buy those fresh organic produce, do the drop off. So you see the trickle down effect, the win-win for everybody from this. But let's zoom out for a moment and looking at, as you've alluded to earlier on, food security. And we're hearing more and more now where there has been some constraints with getting fertilizer, and it's becoming a global conversation. But we at home here have our own unique challenges. From your individual perspectives, what does really food security mean for you and Cayman's future? I mean, Luigi, you're in the business. This must hit home. This farm to table thing and what we're seeing with the geopolitically and natural disasters, just overall what's happening. What does food security really mean to you guys, for Cayman's future?
Well, the first thing comes to my mind, is in real time, in real life, that this week, tomorrow, Patrick Patton and Cayman Farm and Garden is closing their farm. And I cannot tell you, and you can probably see online, the amount of people that are so heartbroken and disappointed about it. This goes beyond being able to have, that's a lot of what we need and have been doing for 10 plus years with Patrick at Cayman Cabana. All of our greens and stuff come from him. I don't know I have no idea what we're going to do for the most part. I know other people are doing amazing things. But that's just one example of real time.
He's closing as in done.
Yeah, his closing is business. The farm is closing, and from the supermarket to the farmers market to thousands of people in the Cayman Islands that have always had some sort of access to anything he grows. It could be the beans, the carrots, the greens, the multiple greens. There's so many things over the years that in my you know, path with him have been, we learned so much what's actually possible to be grown here. So it's not just about a business closing. We're talking about someone who's been innovative, someone who's been consistent. The tomatoes in this island, there's 106 different types of tomatoes, and this hits home to a lot of people, not just me. And sorry to know about that, but the reality is, and I tell people this all the time, a farmer, and they could be working on growing any kind of crop for a month, 3-4 months. A rain could come in, the heat has something. These are the bugs. There's so many different factors that the iguanas, you know, there's so many different factors that contribute to them losing all of 4 or 5 months worth of work. It is one of the hardest professions, jobs, activities. Whether you're a backyard farmer, you realize that. But imagine doing it where you're dependent on that, not just for your business and to be sustainable as a business, but for the amount of people that depend on that. And I can tell you that, you know, from Plantation Organics, Joel Walton, you know, Zippy, Patrick Patton, all the farmers at a farmer's market, they're all in the same at the same risk of this happening to them. The food, from a food security perspective, I look at it more like food insecurity, because it's not just about whether a boat can come here or not. That's what people think about, whether or not, you know, a hurricane comes. Yeah, that is part of it. But the reality is, do we have enough agriculture happening on island within our community that, God forbid, a hurricane, weather, ship can't go, something happens, that we are able to sustain that a little bit. That's what comes to mind most of the time when people think about food security. But the reality is that there's so many different factors that go into any farmer, indoor or outdoor, to being able to be consistent and have it at the volume of being able to have it available at a supermarket. And the supermarkets coming on board, buying from all of these farmers have, and I've personally seen it, tripled their ability to grow and produce more because of getting the right kind of support from all the supermarkets. It has really been heartbreaking to hear, and I haven't had a chance to speak to Patrick yet. I can't imagine he's been in data, but like he's an example of how insecure our food production is in the island. And he's one farmer, but he's a big part of that puzzle.
Oh wow. So I wonder what's next for that. I mean, if it's, you know, we just have to wait and see.
Yeah, and there are other farmers that are growing up, but nobody has been consistent at the volume that he has had, being able to grow a variety of different lettuce and greens and wing beans. You know, you come to our farm to help with dinners, like based on what Patrick has available. Yeah. And here's the difference. In the last 10 years, we were lucky to get 5 pounds of a bag of lettuce or greens 8-10 years ago. Now it's become more consistent, and now you have a major player in there. And I'm not sure what the reason is, other than farming is really, really hard. And I'll say this. Let me go on about it. But the reality is, Sabrina, is this is another example of how we put ourselves in this position where if we don't support our artisans and our crafts and our farmers with having access to for whether it's financial, so that they can protect their business a little bit more, whether that's insurance, whether that's being able to build greenhouses
for resilience.
There's so many different factors.
Even the chickens, eggs.
There's nobody got better chickens than but I never looked at chicken the same since when I had Patrick's chickens, local chicken. There's a whole thing. So this reminds of not just about whether or not a boat come in or whether or not the farmer is open. How can we get our business community, our financial institutions to see value in our farmers so that they can invest into protecting themselves a little bit more? And those are the kind of things that a man is only a man. He can't do so much. You know what I mean?
Correct. That is why it's so important for us to support our local farmers by going to the farmers market. And it's such an important point that you made, both of you made. And we often think of resilience is about big systems, but it's really not big systems. It is about our community habits and support and awareness. And that support is participation, participating in events like this. And, just going out and supporting our locals. That is key. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that about Patrick's farm, because I am aware of his. Yeah.
But I really hope that there's a way that there's a way for him to bounce back or come back if he wants to, or for someone else to take down, because it is a big blow to our entire agriculture community. And at the same time, it's a great opportunity because it highlights the need for more of that from. Correct. Again, goes back to the importance of. I talk to the kids at the school, and they're doing. Some of these kids are doing their backyard farming. To hear a 16-year-old having their own garden in the back, you do that as well. I do that at home, actually. So it may seem small, but this is something that
self-sustaining. It's self-sustaining. Yeah.
Being at home and you're cooking a little pasta and you just want a little fresh basil, maybe a little thyme,
or a little bit of oregano. That's the only thing that I can keep.
And it just come and with us cut and we're like, hey. And I mean, as we're saying, we're not trying to negate the fact that it can be self-sustaining for the entire island, but we're just saying that this should be, well, for me, from what, also to add on to what Luigi just said, this is just being able to produce so that we can benefit and the entire community. Correct. I mean, of course, we're still gonna import and we're still gonna ship it.
Of course, yeah, with 90,000
it goes a long way. If we're doing our little part, and let's say we are able to produce enough to feed at least 1,000 people or 2,000 people, that helps with everything, right? Of course, a little bit goes a long way.
In the back of my mind, I'm kind of thinking like how this challenge is like, let's see what we can do.
Which is why I'm trying to throw it out here.
Cayman will always show up for let's do it when it matters with something like food. We can show up for a lot of good reasons that are material. Let's show up with something that's going to make a difference.
Everybody in loves food, right?
Who doesn't? You to see my size. But let's make it practical. And you went straight into where I was going. If someone is listening right now and wants to help, what is the first step they can take? I know that this is going to be something ongoing. How can people find more information, get updates? I mean, do you even need volunteers or more people to come out on the 16th?
Actually,
well, it's if someone wants to, by all means. We have some kids are coming as well from we invite some people from John Gray. I think True for Youth is coming, so some kids are coming. People are welcome to come to Statue and Barrel as well. We're going to be having a discussion there with some panelists that we can have back and forth. Conversation with. That's one of the benefits that we love about Leadership Cayman as well. You have access to people who are the movers and shakers and the decision makers of policy and law and certain things in Cayman, that we can have real and raw conversations with them to say, hey, what's happening with this? What's happening with that? And we can talk about all kinds of different topics. But as something that's fundamental as food, it's everybody's business. So I would welcome anyone who wants to volunteer to come down to the farmers market on Saturday to just help navigate all the food that's coming down there, because we're all going to be at the farm in New Orleans to kind of navigate and help organize that so that we can come back and pick that up, and then we're going to go back and forth and take that to Cayman Community Farm as well. So the best way to support is to bring your pound of food and contribute it. That is the number one way to do that. And I would also encourage everyone to learn more about Leadership Cayman. It's an amazing experience. Of
course. Yeah. I'll give you this moment for any final thoughts. You can tell us all about Leadership Cayman, why you got interested in the first place. People may just be, you've heard about it, but they never heard it directly from you all. And hint, I'm usually asked all the time to be a panelist, a guest speaker, but forgetting that my show is from this time to 7. I was MIA, and my apologies there. So I don't feel so bad right now that I'm actually accommodating you all. It's my way of giving back.
You're on the list for our environmental panel tomorrow. But I know we know
Because of the timing, the timing is a little bit off, but I'm so happy that I can give back to the leadership Cayman in this way, so I don't feel as guilty, but I enjoy interacting with you, the candid
First of all, we
conversations
wanna
that we
thank
have.
you. We want to really thank you for being the first to jump on and say yes, absolutely, and come on the
sure.
show and spread the word. It goes a long way, and we appreciate your platform and being able to share that.
Appreciate it. And I'll be sharing it as well, as I'll be doing some reels and just doing a caption on my Instagram page, on my Facebook, and I'll also post a flyer on YouTube channels after this, so people will connect the dots, and we'll do pop-ups on it leading up to the weekend, so people will know. And I'll mention it again tomorrow.
We would thank you. We would really like to see like a core memory for a lot of young kids to participate in this, whether they go part of this as well. If you don't have any food, you can't make it, plant something. It don't have to be on Saturday, but the idea is like let's keep
let's get the momentum going.
Let's get the momentum going
and inspire people.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So give us some, in your wrap up, tell us a little bit about what this whole initiative with Leadership Cayman is for those who do not understand what it is. And again, whatever you would like to share and leave with our viewing and listening audience this evening here on the Sabrina Speaks platform.
So just to give you a synopsis of what Leadership Cayman is, it's a program developed by the Chamber of Commerce that started in 2010. And it explores the different social and economic issues and backgrounds of the Cayman Islands, and how persons from a diverse portfolio from these backgrounds as well can help to assist the Cayman Islands with the social and economic issues that they're facing. So usually we do bi-weekly seminars focusing on different seminar topics, whether it's from criminal justice, sustainability, culture and tourism, stayover tourism, financial services, technology. We can go on and on. This is a 6-month intensive process. Like, it's really a commitment, and you really have to have discipline and be able to be open-minded and explore the different avenues of what shapes Cayman to be Cayman. And we meet with different community leaders to discuss these topics, just to get some more insight, learn how we can get more involved, how we can get everyone else involved. And we are sponsored, as I said, by Wheaton Precious Metals, A.L. Thompson's more in the Cayman Islands, and also the RBC Bank.
And RBC,
And for this special initiative that we're doing with the class project, Jake Scott was so gracious to sponsor us for the refreshments.
Nice. So see, that's that. You talk about a village raising a child.
We have big sponsorship from also Cayman Cabana and Thatch and Barrel.
And he right there.
We love you like going to it every day. So when Kim wanted to do this initiative, I was like, it's a no-brainer, but let's take it to a different level. And the entire class is very excited about it. And our commitment was not just to do something that we're going to say we just did our project and that's that, but what can we do to make an impact moving forward and leave a legacy for Leadership Cayman? And I will say about Leadership Cayman is I thought it was, I wasn't too sure what to expect, but a lot of people, what got me into it as well is like, as a Cayman, someone who grew up here, and even someone like yourself, you different level because you had access on different level, but when you learn so much about what we think, how Cayman operates, we go to air traffic control tower, we learn to really appreciate what the airport is doing, see so many different factors. Tomorrow we're doing a tour with Foster's. You're gonna really get an insight into behind of the works and the people and the decision makers of what Cayman is. So whether you grew up here from here and we think we know, there's a lot more to learn. And again, look at something amazing like this has blossomed from that, where we have 30 of us are a part of this, and we know that we're going to contribute to make a positive difference.
You can see those who have gone through Leadership Cayman, when they speak, they're speaking from an informed perspective. And I bet you now, when you hear comments being made more, even now on social public platforms, because of your experience and being a part of the cohort of Leadership Cayman, you will see, you will listen, and I'm hoping that you can be then future ambassadors to educate and give people the right information instead of just flying off or going with whatever sounds right. But it's always coming from an informed perspective. And that's what I love about that experience. You're seeing it raw, so that you see it, like what you say, full circle.
Yeah.
So you get to understand the inner workings from what you see on the surface and behind the scenes.
And they get to hear from
Yeah.
us as well,
Exactly.
from a raw, real perspective.
And we have 16 years of alumni. So that's 16 years of
Everybody claims
so
to have the
many
best class
community
ever.
leaders that have been a part of this. I mean, they're a part of a whole network of alumni, and they're
Right.
working in so many different sectors. Like,
Yeah.
one could literally be sitting right next to you.
And another person on our team here, we have to make a shout out to Neo. She's part of our team, the class
Yeah.
project.
Nice.
We have mentors for each seminar as well. There are so many different people behind the scenes that are making it possible for us to be able to enjoy this experience that we really value and come to appreciate as well.
Well, I know you guys got your own sponsors, but I'm going to just throw this out here now because of the Sabrina Speaks platform. We're here promoting the Island Harvest Community collaboration that's going to kick off. Definitely, it's the 16th of May with this big community produce drop-off and book drive that'll be taking place, like I said, on Saturday, May 16th from 9 to 11 at 4 locations. Now, say those 4 locations, and I'll tell you what I'm getting at to. Say those drop off.
It's from 9 a.m., 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. is when we're going to be doing it. By all means, it can continue to keep going on all day Saturday, and we're going to collect everything at the end of that and deliver that to Mr. Fabian at Cayman Community Farm.
Okay. What I'm going to also do because of this, besides promoting this event, I'm
Really
also
appreciate it.
going to, through you guys, extend a formal invitation for you all to come on or have a representatives from Leadership Cayman to come and speak to the Sabrina Speaks platform about this wonderful initiative.
It'd be fantastic. I'm sure
It'd
they
be our
appreciate
pleasure.
that for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
Thank you so much.
You got the digits, you know how to get to me, but I think it's worthwhile putting the spotlight on because if this is a class project, can you understand what interest we could have? Again, more public engagement. It's very, of course, candid, very easy. You can do this from wherever you're at. And just give us, without sharing any, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But, to give an idea more in layman's terms to the public so that we can educate and inform our public of what this great initiative is.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get even more corporate sponsors for the next set.
Absolutely. And I want to give a shout out to people in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman as well. Even though we don't have any designated spots there, I'm going to nominate Pioneer Bakery. I'll let Aunt Rosie know that you come and buy. Just drop off those stuff there. But really, truly, we just know the reality of what this is going to be coming over to Cayman Brac as well. That was a big part of that. I just wanted to highlight that as well. But we cannot thank you enough for providing. This is our first big initiative, and to have your platform share that with everybody has been fantastic.
Right. I see we got some comments coming in here. As you were the former Minister of Health, Sabrina, you certainly can appreciate the importance of healthy living and fresh food and vegetables. Health is wealth. It only takes a group of neighbors in their community to come together and start a backyard initiative. One grow, pap choy, one callaloo, one cabbage, watermelon, cucumbers, tomatoes, scotch bonnet peppers, etc. You're so right, Andrew. You are so right. Absolutely. And but Sabrina, thank you.
You notice I'll take, you call me or anybody call me, they got one hand of planting or I taking it. Bobo and them drop off 2 breadfruit from off the bicycle. I take it.
I see. I witnessed that with my 2 eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a community effort. I tell you what, we don't have mass agriculture. Thankfully, we don't have anything on that level of export, but it really emphasizes how important the access, a little bit by little bit, for our community to chip in and donate can go a long way.
It does. Call Lou rice. I love that.
Yes.
Well, I want to thank you all for taking the opportunity, and thank you for thinking about me. And again, the invitation is wide open for whenever you guys want to come on and talk about the course, what it's like. Just give us some idea of what it's all about. I would love to have that, and I'm wishing you all the best on this event. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us some insight about this class project of yours that is going to be a huge initiative. And I'm hoping that Cayman will definitely go to the farmer's market, buy a pound of produce, and definitely drop off. And like they said, you can drop off throughout the day. Then all of those produce will be delivered. Cayman Brac, you're not left out. Pioneer Bakery, well. You can drop off the produce there, and they will be arranging for collections. Bracknell, not this weekend over there. That right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you should.
Starts from tomorrow, actually, to Monday.
Yeah, that's definitely happening. What I was I gonna say is no, you gotta do the Kimmer Brat. Yeah, Kimmer Brat, you gotta do your thing. But no, but just in general, our slogan for this is "Let's grow Cayman
Good.
together."
And that's Cayman.
Cayman.
All
Yes.
of us.
Yeah.
And also,
Yes.
we want to get everyone. I think we forgot to mention this, but we want to get everyone involved. So we know we're in a social media era. So if you're visiting your local farmers market, if you're in your own community backyard, if you're at work and someone brings some nice crops from their gardens, take some pictures of it. Tag the Leadership Cayman on social media, Leadership Cayman, and also use the hashtags LC2026.
Yeah.
Food security and Cayman grown.
And let's grow
We
Cayman.
want to see it. Just keep on posting. Anything that you have with any kind of food initiative or sustainability initiative, get those posts going.
Yeah, definitely the best way for sure.
Like I said, I want to thank you so much for joining us and for all your work that you're doing there at Leadership Cayman class of 2026. And definitely, Luigi, thank you so much. Okay, you sound like the Prospect Primary School children. The best school in the whole wide world.
Let's start an initiative with the Prospect Primary School. And I don't know if they started it, but if they haven't, let's get that going.
Yeah, let's go.
So
Let's
they can
go.
Get their grow boxes going as well.
I think they had a
every
little
school
garden
to-
too, you know. I think
heard that.
Prospect and Lighthouse as well. They were
Yes.
doing something. Yeah.
Yep.
I think they all have their little share of gardens, but it's not just publicly known. So this is a good initiative for you guys to just drop in and see what's happening. Maybe they need a little jolt.
Yep.
So yeah, it is. So, but thank you so much.
Thank you as well to the Ministry of Agriculture, the Agricultural Society, behind the scenes of all the things they do to make Cayman, safe to be able to do all this as well. So that's important.
Yeah. Damien Charles says vertical farming is very productive for not enough land as well, the vertical ones. So there's different versions. And then you got those container farming, which is that could be a little costly, but yeah. Anything then you got the hydroponics where so it's all different. The good thing is we're getting the conversation alive and well and going again. And that is exactly ticking one of the boxes, educating, informing, bringing an awareness. Yeah. So there you go. Thank you so much, Kim and Luigi. It is a pleasure meeting you.
So much.
Thank you for having us.
I know you think, Luigi, that I went MIA. And I'm
No. Like, listen, you got top show. You got.
No. You hold on. I'm watching you every day, and I can share that little one with you off. I see you every day. I can even see my chair.
We got some bread food talking to you after your show tomorrow. This weekend, all right? So thank you so much.
But I'll definitely catch up over the weekend. Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for allowing me to showcase and highlight this event. God bless.
God bless.
We love having guests here on the Sabrina Speaks, and we hope that all of you will shout in your numbers. Even if you're over in the Bracken, you're going to be going to Bracknell or whatever kind of now you're going to be doing. We just show up there at Pioneer Bakery and you drop off all of the Kim and Brackers that are over there and you want to join in on this. We're not leaving you out. You heard Luigi tell you there, just drop off your 1 pound of produce there at Pioneer Bakery. And they'll definitely arrange for collection and distribution, and they're just going to just get you all involved. And for all of us here in Grand Cayman, you heard of that. This is huge, and we want all of you to be aware that the Island Harvest Community Collaboration is happening. Yes, you can start buying them now through May 16th. With the big community produce drop-off and book drive that will be taking place on Saturday. This is a long weekend. There are 4 locations for donations across the island that you can drop off anything that you want to donate. These drop-off locations, as stated earlier on, is Hamlin Stevens Farmers Market. We got the community farm in Newlands. We got Cayman Cabana and Thatch and Barrel over there at Pedro. And of course, Pioneer Bakery in the Brack, you have just been added to the list. So you heard all about this initiative. Let's come out, let's show up and purchase anything that you're going to buy to donate. we want you to go down to the farmers market and do that as well. And then you do the drop off right there. So look at the extension. You're helping. And we're sorry that Patrick is closing that farm. We probably have to do some research on that to see what's causing that. But yeah, this is the vulnerability. Again, islands and farming, I can only imagine. Pests are elements. We're flat, exposed to all sorts of salt. And it must be quite challenging. I can only imagine the life of a farmer. But we thank you for all that you do. We thank you for your dedication. You're actually feeding us substance. And this, I taste those tomatoes from Fabian. And Fabian, we know he is doing this from the bottom of his heart. He's known as the dancing police. He gets up early in the morning to check his crops, and then he harvests. He has to maintain them, and then he distributes. That is generosity on steroids. And he's a blessed man, and that's why he will continue to flourish in this initiative. And kudos to Leadership Cayman for collaborating with him on this initiative as he continues to blossom and bloom in that field. I want to thank them again for joining us, definitely here. And Mr. Douglas, Denver, how are you? Hi, Miss Dorothy. How are you, my love? It is good to have you here with us this evening. Mr. Denver says, sounds to me like a serious loss for our community. Something government could easily drop 15,000 to keep it up and running. You're talking about the farm that's owned by Patrick, or 150,000, I think you're saying, year here. So yeah, we don't know, but I guess we'll hear more about that. Since we're saying we want to sustain and we're promoting farmers, and we see immigration legislation now includes a particular set that helps with farmers as well. There's a whole different section there to accommodate people in that farm industry. Damien says, yep, those green iguanas are becoming a pest again. I've been hearing that. Between the green iguanas and the chickens, Damien Charles, you are quite right. Many people are complaining that they need to do something with the chickens and the iguanas. I don't know what's going on with the culling. That's failing. I don't know what's going on, but I'm quite sure that on the DOE department, however, you can call these people to try and cull these iguanas. If you're especially a farmer, trying even in your own backyard to try and so that you can try and save what little fruits and vegetables you are growing. The chickens, those little buggers, they will fly up in the tree. And you would be looking at this mango, waiting for it to just get fit or ripe. And when you go to pick it, they leave the side that you can see untouched. Turn it around. Oh my God. Yeah, they smart. And mangoes, I know people that, the mangoes that are low enough that they can fly up and they're just creating havoc. And these are all feral. These are wild. So yeah, I don't know, DOE, agriculture, if you can help your farmers. I don't know how much reports or complaints you guys have gotten in regards to these pests, but something needs to be done to try and help them. So yeah, there you go. But I'll be sharing the links below in regards to this Island Harvest Community Collaboration event that is happening on Saturday. And I'm looking forward for all of my locals to come out. And you can go now and you can drop off your stuff from now at all of those locations. It's ongoing from now. It's not just Saturday. You can go this evening. You can go tomorrow and you can do this drop off. Okay. Now we said we want to wrap this up because tomorrow we are going to be looking. And I have an entire report. Tomorrow evening, we are definitely going to be looking at that report that has just came out, the government's first quarter financial report of 2026, and that highlights core government spending. So I really want to wrap up this 2025 forecast, this thing of 2025 to break it down for you, right? I want to wrap this up today. We pretty much covered it all and what it means. This is based on information from 2025 that kind of sets the tone. because Q4, the quarter four, is not until later on in the year, and it will continue to see patterns and trends that we are already feeling, but we're not yet reported. It's not yet reported on. And just as we finished yesterday, we were about to tackle and go into the construction industry. Based on, and I'm switching gears now, we're going back to the Q3, quarter three of 2025 report. That's the document that we're speaking, because we're going to wrap that up this evening so that we can look at what it takes to run this country where core government is concerned, based on the report that is out in the public's domain. I reported on that in our news segment this evening, and I will have it up on screen, and I will be breaking it down, because we're going to do that in 1 2-hour segment. So tomorrow we're going to be doing that line by line, breaking it down for you, and get your pens and pencils out, or calculators, because there are lots of numbers there. That is not thousands, they're millions. That's what we're going to be talking tomorrow. So tell your friends, we're going to be breaking down that report in layman's terms tomorrow. Going back to the 2025 Q3 report, when it looked at construction industry, based on information collected there, in that report, it included that construction activity that was going on at that time. And the iguanas and chickens being taken UCCI classes. Oh, Andrew, let me tell you something. I don't know which class they go into, which school, which institution, but they have figured us out. They have figured us out. Lest I digress. But let me tell you, the only one can deal with them is Michelma. Oops, I did not say that. Anyhow, in this report, the Q3 2025 report, it included the construction activity that was going on. But at the time of me preparing this, what we can say, the actual numbers, we did not, and I couldn't trust what I got out of them, right? But exact values, I didn't have honestly available to me, or that I could find that were in the public's domain based on what I was searching. But what I did find out is that construction, and this is factual, is one of the largest contributors of Cayman's GDP, gross domestic product. And what that section in this report typically covered is the fees and monies that are made from building permits, project approvals, construction values, and even the employment sector employment, right? And what that is showing us in there is that construction slowed in quarter three of 2025. And that could possibly have been indicating that there were fewer projects. People were probably trying to decide what they were going to do, as in big developers. We saw where it could be signaling reduced investor appetite. They could see the environment being questionable. They could have been impacted by what was happening in the US. And it could be also impacted by higher financing costs and market saturation as well. And of course, bottom line, policy shifts. Because if construction remained strong, that may have also signaled continued population growth, strong investor confidence, high demand for even housing, which we see there's a gap right now of affordable housing. And the number is coming in at 3,000, and that's probably going to be demand going up some more. And then we see where it could be because of ongoing infrastructure needs as well. And all of these things impact our everyday life, because construction influences rent, home prices, traffic, job availability, cost of living, definitely the bottom line of the government revenue. Yes. And then that then looked into in this report, into the Q3 of 2025, it also highlighted real estate, that industry. It highlighted real estate trends. But here we go again, the true values. I couldn't find exactly those true numbers. But tomorrow, based on the core government, a total different document, and I'll tell you the difference between the two, You got to tune into more to understand the difference, but we'll have numbers to share with you there. What it actually said in this report, though, is that with the real estate, it normally looks at the amount of transfers, properties that were transferred, and how much those transfers would equate in stamp duty revenue that comes directly to the government, and how much is there for market activity. And it also measures price trends as well. And when all of those are going good, we realize that we have created an environment that could signal more investor confidence, housing demand that people really still is interested in here, and affordability pressures also comes along with that. So at the end of the day, these are all compressed into that one document, even though it's dated from 2025. It will all make sense waiting for what the results will show for later on in this year, where the data now is being cleaned up, compiled, being placed in a report to put into the public's domain that will see the shift. You see, based on the news, that inflation is hitting the United States. What did we say yesterday? We import practically everything. That inflation going up there at 3.8%, I stand to be corrected. Whatever percentage of inflation the United States is feeling right now, we are going to be importing that. Everything that is purchased from the United States and imported here is already an add-on. And that was news as of today. If persons in the United States of America is complaining, and we normally go over there because we see it now as a bargain. If they're complaining, what do you think is going to happen when we ship it in? Our purchasers or buyers from our supermarkets, from anybody that you're dealing with, these vendors, doesn't matter what industry you're in. Unfortunately, with a small island development state like ours, the Cayman Islands, we're importing that inflated cost, which means it's going to be more for us to purchase these things here in the Cayman Islands. So brace for impact. And as Andrew, Damien, Mr. Henry, Denver is always saying, we got to be prepared. The more we keep aware of what's happening, the better it is for us to be braced for the realities of what's going to hit us. We see where in this report as well, one of the most important sections in this 2025 report is the report about financial services. And there's an entire section on that because we understand the financial services is, contrary to what people may think, is the backbone of Cayman's economy. Tourism has its place. Medical has its place. Yes, they all have their place. Real estate, but financial services is our background. And what we're seeing is that with our Honorable Premier going to Asia, meeting, getting a feel from over there of what's happening in the markets, he could possibly, based on his engagement, be picking up trends, realities. You're seeing where there are a number of legislations that we have had to update. Data from reports like this is signaling and giving our leaders information as to how they actually brace and prepare ahead of time for what markets are showing. And then we look at background data, such as reports of this nature, and we speak to, engage with, network with other jurisdictions and leaders in the industry, understanding that the financial services is the backbone for Cayman's economy. And therefore, we become competitive, have the right policies, regulations, legislations in place that makes us become a place of choice to want to engage and do business with. And in return, if you want to do business with us, there's a fee. And that fee is income revenue from that industry. It's no different from even medical tourism, sports tourism. What we need to look at is how we can better diversify agro-tourism, agriculture, looking at our brothers and sisters, how we can get tips and stuff. So yeah, it's not just limited to one thing, and we just cannot remain stagnant. We have to always be alert on what's happening around the world, knowing the implications and the impacts that it could have on us just because of our sheer size could be more detrimental and have further reaching negative impacts if we're not prepared. Damien Charles says, I don't mind spending an extra few dollars knowing that some tourist extremists want to nuke the US. What about the liberation of women and the slaughter of Christians? I don't mind spending extra few dollars knowing that some terrorist extremists want to nuke the US. What about the liberation of women and slaughter of Christians? Look, this is some perilous times we're living in right now, Damien Charles, and we're just trying to navigate life together. I just wish that there was a wand that you could say, let's all get along, because we're seeing what's happening internationally for whatever by design, that a message was being sent. I don't know. But Damien Charles, we got to, as a world, get our act together, because you kind of wonder if we were just skipping along and not realizing what was happening. And then bang. Yeah. Oh, it starts with the chokehold within the Strait of Hormuz. And then, then we can't get crude. And then, it's one thing right after the other. Where are we getting it wrong? All I know that at the end of the day, the whole world is going to feel whatever the heck it is that's going on. Damien Charles says, someone had the cojones to deal with them from 1947. Well, we not going there. We just keeping it real. We're following it. And let me tell you, the impacts that is right now feeling around the world is something that we're all going to have to adjust our sails accordingly and just pray. It is what it is. I'm not going to come here and go for or against one. All I know, I'm dealing with what's before us, and I'm hoping that our leaders are awake, alert, and is making the best decisions based within the confines of what it takes in order to keep us informed, be sustainable, be able to survive should this continues to escalate. That's all we can do, but it's going to take everyone paddling in the same direction, not pulling in different directions, I can tell you that. Denver says, you see all the amount of money the Japanese have invested in our financial industry. We should be begging these people for input in many areas of our community, much in need of such help. Yes, we saw where those reports came out, that signals a lot about our environment that we've created in the financial industry, Denver, to be honest with you. And it signals that we have the right legislation in place that gives them that confidence that they would choose this country as a place of choice to engage and do business with, to transact business with. So that's huge. And I feel that our industry stakeholders, legislators as well, should give ourselves a pat on the back for what the numbers and the data revealed here, Denver. Quite right. We showcased that in a news segment a couple days ago. So we see where all of these trends are definitely hitting home here. And we understand the importance of our financial services remaining strong. And those were the key indicators in Q3 of 2025. Yes. It showed that we remained strong. And that speaks volumes because it is signaling continued global confidence in the Cayman Islands. It is signaling stable regulatory environment that means we're above board. Strong demand for financial products is still there and people are coming, which is why we cannot remain in the Stone Age with legislation and even our digital footprint, which is why you're seeing us trying to get legislation in place, and what it actually signaled from Q3 of 2025, that healthy business formation is there. So right now, it looks as though we are headed in the right direction with our financial sector based on this information. We'll just have to wait for Q4 to see if it remains the same or if it has gotten stronger. We're seeing where some headlines, such as what Denver has shared, it still shows that I'm looking in Q4 that we could continue to see this improvement, see the appetite here for the Cayman Islands, which indirectly all of us, every single person in this country benefits from. We all benefit from those fees collected in the financial services and industry directly and indirectly. It all comes together to keep our country running. Yes. Damien Charles says the same with a mines in the Stone Age. Same with the mines in the Stone Age. To each his own, Damien. Everybody looks at this totally different, my dear. But what I know, we all have our own, each country, each leader, each individual is going to have to be prepared for the realities. And exactly, some of us are thinking like that. Some of us are just got our heads buried in the sand. And if you even ask some people about some of those cultures, Damien Charles, they would have no clue. They're only know of what they have been exposed to within their own home. Some people don't know. Some people don't even listen to the world news. They're like, we're over it. Whatever is coming, whatever. So yeah, it can become frustrating. If you're one who's got your finger on the pulse and you've been digging and stuff, not everybody's going to be like that, which is sometimes it's best when you go out and you hear certain comments and you read the room and you hear someone's opinion, you immediately can pick up whether that's coming from an informed or they're just regurgitating what they hear without research and facts. But it doesn't make sense for you to get angry. It doesn't make sense for you to even get rude with some people because they see it from a different perspective. And this is where you go read the room. You go read the room. With me preparing for these segments, Damien, Charles, let me tell you something. I go places and I hear conversations and I'm like, that is so far left field that it's not even funny. But you got to read the room, and it's your tone, your posture sometimes, and you just got to know the personality. You don't want to come off like, oh, you know it all, but you got to be able, with the environment now as well, to be able to deliver something in an unbiased way, whether or not you're labeled as pro this or pro that. And that is the problem. Some people want to wear the badge of exactly where they stand, why they stand there. And then people just pretty much label you that I'm not going to listen to Damien Charles because I know he's pro this or he's pro that. So I'm just going to shut him off. They're not even giving you the opportunity to explain why, even though you may be neutral, unbiased, which is why sometimes it's best you zip it and listen, but also know your audience. And I think it's in everybody's best interest to sometimes listen 4 times more right now than before you speak, because if you listen, then you'll kind of get an insight of exactly where people stand on certain things. And out of respect, because if I know you're pro this person or pro that government or pro, I just don't weigh in on it. I just don't participate in the conversation because you're just pro them, and I'm not there to debate you or try to sway you my way. I just have nothing to say, but I'm respectful because you're entitled to your opinion and you're entitled to making your choices. And that's where we're going to lose this plot, because everybody is dragging you and they're blaspheming you if you're not for this side or if you're not for that country. And I'm like, why? People are entitled. They're entitled. But it doesn't mean that you have to side with them or that you have to be rude to them, because that's their choice. They go live with it. To me, I must be cut from a different cloth. I don't know. Dean, how are you, my dear? What's the end game, I wonder? Hey, keep tuned and be wise, be smart, Dean Gillette. That's all I can tell you. just educate yourself and be prepared for whatever. You know, it's not like you're fair-mongering by any means. Indoctrinated from birth in some places. Yeah. I mean, you can't tell me, let me give you this. You can't tell me that your mama cooked stew chicken better than my mama. No, that's not even debatable. Because you could defend your mama's stew chicken and I could defend my mommy. Why? Exactly what you stated here. Indoctrinated from birth, exposed to that environment. That is a non-discussion topic because my mama's stew chicken is better than your mama's stew chicken. And you're going to defend your mama's stew chicken. And it's no different on other subject matters, even when we grow into adults. And some is even more inflated the older we get because we're more outspoken. We are more into our beliefs. And now we have the social media pressures that are coming on. You got to understand sometimes, choose your battles, choose your conversations, because most of the time it's not worth it. Because at the end of the day, everyone is entitled to their opinion and they make their own choices. You are responsible for you and your household, because I can tell you right now, there's some split households right now in this country on many fronts. But what doesn't change? Their DNA and that they're connected. But they agree to disagree, and they're just totally split on certain subject matters. And they all have to live together. Damien says, exactly. Decent debate brings more knowledge. Exactly. Because there's a saying about every clock is right at one time of the day or something like that. Something right here. Yeah. Even you'd be surprised how much you can learn from different people. How much even when you and them are not on the same page, they could be from a total different socioeconomic background. They have something poignant, valuable to say. Some of the most people that are informed go sit down on the waterfront, right on that same wall by Dorothy. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. Yeah. Yeah. And there are other spots as well. Trust me, you would be surprised. Denver says, far left is the new norm. Boy, that kind of wobbling now though, Denver. I see it. I feel it, but we'll be right back after this commercial is what I gotta say on that topic. But I seen it wobbling. Dean says, it seemed like nobody knows sailing into the unknown because it's so unpredictable. Do you see what's happening with the headlines? Even stock markets, people who are in the industry, it's like we're in chaos. It's like the whole world is waiting for a social media post. Yeah. That's what we've gotten to. Literally. So yes, sailing into the unknown. Pretty much. It's like the world is living one post at a time. 1 minute, oof. Next minute, panic. Next minute, okay, temporary. Then we got X amount of days. And then next minute, oh no, right now. And you're like, what the heck? And then it's just crazy. It's crazy times. And this is why charity begins at home. And this is why we need a steady hand, steady heads, forward, foresight thinkers. Everyone's opinion matter. And then we just prepare our own individual spaces the best we can. Because trust me, it is unpredictable. It is confusing. Denver says, yes, zip it if you not listening to them. Yeah, it's true. Mm-hmm. Connie says, nobody cooks pot roast beef better than my mom. Oh, really? We gotta have a showdown there. Hint, hint. You see? Exactly. You get my point. And it's the same conversation we could have about who cooks the best turtle meat. Let's expand it out to the districts. Which districts has the best turtle meat or the best crabs, land crabs? Some people would say best is North Side. Some people would say, oh no, Little Cayman. Some would say Cayman Brac. Some may say West Bay. It all depends. So yes, I thank you all for catching exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, you get it. You get exactly what I'm saying. Damien says, many empires are falling because of the ATM. The ATM has stopped. And that is becoming obvious. And Damien Charles, to be honest with you, based on based on some of the responses or non-response thereof to certain countries by other countries, speaks volumes as to exactly whether or not they were benefactors from a particular ATM or other deals that is not widely known. And it was quite comical, to say the least, and sad all in one. When things were heating up in our immediate region of the Caribbean, and you looked at how certain leaders were responding, and then the drip effect in time, based on certain headlines and breaking news and all of this sort of stuff, you get to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Sometimes it takes moments like these for us to remove the veil, for you to see deeper. And people are asking, why so much control by one country, one individual? That answer is deeper rooted than we think. And only time will tell. And without certain things even being stated in the public's domain, all you got to do is follow the headlines and you can connect the dots. Certain moves, certain outcomes of election, certain parties in other jurisdictions, the writing is on the wall. And the thing is, what I am saying here is in the public's domain. It's not hard for anyone to connect the dots. You may not have it 100%, but it definitely puts things in perspective. And things that you may say, well, why aren't they reacting to this? Why is there a delayed response to that? The devil is always in the details. And as a dear friend that I had always said, Sabrina, shut up and follow the money. When you follow the money, then you get the answer. Sometimes you end up in a dead end, but it always comes out in the rinse. So, and there's no difference when you look at it from a national perspective, from the national geopolitical tensions that we're seeing right now. This is a war that is saying, oh, it's based on nuclear arms and nukes. Well, then why one country is better off having it versus the other one that is, you get where I'm coming? What makes one country better off of holding a dangerous weapon or materials for a weapon than the other? And then this is what it's all about? You think that's all? Yeah. But we're not going there. We just are doing our best to be aware, keeping alert. And as a small island development state in a British overseas territory jurisdiction, as some of the civil servants would say back in the day, that's higher than my pay grade. But we don't have to be left outside. We don't. We sit down, we respect each other's opinions, we listen more than we speak, especially if you're a learned person, especially if you have been following certain things and somebody's a little late coming to class. That doesn't mean that they're dumb, doesn't mean that they're stupid. It doesn't mean that their input is any less of a value to you. It just means you have to slow it down a little bit, which may be frustrating and exhausting for you because you've long passed that subject. But each one teach one. And when you look behind you, you've got a whole nation behind you. And this is what I love with these podcasts, because you can watch it on demand, you can watch it at your own pace, and at times you can even go back and tie the information in 4 or 5 months down or before into what's happening in reality, and it all makes sense. What did I say? Each one teach one. We have a better society when we're all educated. If we're more educated, more informed, with valuable information, they can't fool you. They can't pull the wool over your eyes. But it takes that hunger, that appetite, that desire from every citizen of any country to invest in themselves by learning it, by knowing it, having that desire to know. I'm not here to persuade anybody to go on any side. I'm just here, unbiased, and just putting it there for you, giving you the information, bite-sized pieces, layman's terms, because at no time should anybody be caught off guard with what's about or what's unfolding. There's no need. There's resources, there are tools at your fingertips instead of scrolling across and looking at foolishness. I'm not saying you do it all the time, but yeah, there is no need for anyone right now to be left in the dark unless you so choose to be left in the dark. Stock markets are flying high. Yeah, but check it tomorrow. One tweet and you'll see what will happen. They're going crazy. Connie's laughing. Denver say the best crabs is from north side. Oh, yeah? I knew it was going to come. Someone's going to say, oh, no, the brack. The brack has the best crabs. Damian Charles says, and when you stop the money, you get the answer also. Hey, let me tell you something, Damian Charles. They float up to the surface like you know what. It will float to the surface, then you can just scrape it off. I like you, Damian Charles. You are so right. Oh, yeah. And that's when you hear all of that. And they'll come out and make like smoking guns and saying all of this stuff. And they'll go after your personal. Yeah. It's no different with world leaders. It's no different. Check it out. When you hear all of them making all of this noise and they're check it out. Grave Vitrine, stop, or somebody's disrupting their apple cart. You're quite right. Denver says the elite are behind that one individual leading the world force. Denver says a better community is one who learns to respect one's opinion or agree not to disagree with one another. You're so right. And you learn so much more as well. Damian Charles say, yeah, who the rock hit? You are quite right. Well, look here, it's 6:57 and we've come to an end of this episode of Sabrina Speaks, but we pretty much going to go into this big document tomorrow that speaks about the figures and the numbers for core government, how much was budgeted, what the run rate is like for the first 3 months. Remember this, got to be quick now, got to be quick. Good evening, Michelle.
No, crabs are best because they're nasty. They're scavengers. Don't care where they're from. Crabs are nasty.
Okay, thank you for that.
No, crabs are best because crabs are scavengers. They're nasty.
Okay. Thanks for your opinion.
Nasty crabs. I won't eat them if I want to lay fry, and that's the first thing. I won't eat them if I want to lay fry for 40 days and 40 nights, and that's the first thing they bring to me and say, "Let me style 8 or more."
Oh,
no,
my
crabs
God.
are good.
Oh,
they
my
are
God.
scavengers. Can eat them. You can eat people.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you for your opinion. I'm quite sure others will disagree. Thank you, Michelle. Good hearing from you.
You can eat people.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you for your opinion. I'm quite sure others will disagree. Thank you, Michelle. Good hearing from you. There we go. I'm quite sure a lot of you will disagree with that. But again, that's respecting other people. Michelle don't like crabs. Some people do after you purge them. But it is something else. David Charles says, have you seen these Caymanian chicken? They eat anything. I see them at KFC eating chicken. Yes, I've seen them. I have seen they eat everything. I'm sorry, they eat everything. But yes, as I was alluding to just before we close off here, we're 1 minute to go. Tomorrow we're going to go into the budget so that you'll get a better understanding of what it's taking to run the core government, and we'll get some insights on what it's the loans and stuff from one statutory authority to the next, and we'll let you know what is forecast, what is declared in this document. So yes, I want to encourage you all to join me. And while I'm speaking to certain headlines in this document, I will be having the image on the screen as we go along. So yes, you would be able to see it. Yes, Michelle. Michelle?
One last thing, I know nobody, the people gonna disagree because it's different stroke for different folk, but I don't eat chicken neither. No kind chicken because they're nasty too. Because I'm sick of hearing the name chicken, and that's all I can get. I rather eat chips and nuts because you soon sprout fat on this shirt because all you can hear is chicken. That's what the man said the other day. So I eat no chicken neither. Cayman chicken, foreign chicken, no chicken.
Okay, well, thank you for that. Go vegetarian then, my friend. Oh my gosh. That brings us again to a close of Sabrina Speaks here for this Tuesday afternoon. Looking forward for another informative, thought-provoking episode of Sabrina Speaks tomorrow, Wednesday, hump day, as we head on down to start our long weekend here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. Monday, the 18th is a public holiday. Please be safe. Thank you for all of you for logging in. Thank you for all of us, for all of you who are liking, following, sharing, and subscribing. And even for those of you who watch us even after we no longer are live, we thank you for your continued support, and I love your feedback. Until tomorrow, God bless. Love you all lots. Good night. See you tomorrow.
That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, Cayman, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.